All right, welcome back. We're going to have a conversation about nutrition, and this morning we have Akosua Koneri-Adam, who's a state-registered nutritionist, and she's going to help us to understand staying healthy for those. You know, last time she was here, we had a conversation about those who are between 15 and 40, and today we're going to look at those who are above 40 years old and what they should be looking out for. Akosua, good morning.
Good morning, Kweku.
How are you?
I'm also yourself.
I'm very good.
Just hoping for the best.
First day of the lockdown, how are you feeling?
Oh, well, it's okay. I feel normal because I was able to come out.
Okay, so let's get to nutrition and those above 40. What are we looking at in terms of their specific needs?
Okay, so it's very critical for everyone, either small, big, young, whatever, or whoever you are, to pay attention to your immune health as far as boosting your immune system is concerned. And so for starters, I would say that we all need to make sure we are eating well and sticking to a very healthy lifestyle. Eating well, I always speak about the fact that it should work with the 4-star diet. And the 4-star diet will ensure that whatever is on your plate is balanced. For where we find ourselves, it's difficult to satisfy the protocol as far as the World Health Organization's description of the 4-star diet is concerned. So when we do a 24-hour dietary recall, it should reflect every star in the 4-star diet. So elsewhere, somebody or people can satisfy the 4-star diet protocol over a meal, that is, let's say breakfast. They can satisfy the protocol, but where we find ourselves, sometimes what we want to eat, and most of our meals wouldn't permit us to satisfy the 4-star diet protocol over a meal. So we spread it and say that by the time you do a 24-hour dietary recall, you should be satisfying the 4-star diet, and that has to do with the staples. What we call, one of the star is the staples, what we call the carbos. And then the second star has to do with the leguminous family, where you have nuts, pulses, seeds, beans is an example, sorghum, and all the rest. Then we have the third star, which has to do with fruits and vegetables. Every fruit can be part of the star, and then we have every vegetable forming part of the third star. And for our conversation will be centered on the third star, even though we have some traces of the nutrients we will need in the other stars. And then we have the 4th star, which is the animal sources of food. We have meat, we have eggs, every proteinous part of a food. Every protein falls under the 4th star. So if we put everything together in 24 hours, you should be satisfying all 4 these protocols. There are people who are doing it over a meal, like breakfast. But if you can't do it over a meal, make sure that when you do a 24-hour dietary recall, that is from breakfast to supper or dinner, you are satisfying every protocol here. But for the purposes of what we are discussing as far as COVID-19 is concerned and nutrition, the WHO or the World Health Organization clearly spoke about nutrition as one of the items for us to pay attention to. So after washing your hands, sanitizing your hands, keeping that 2 meters distance, and doing every precautionary measure we've been asked to do, nutrition is something that is serious because it has to do with your immune health. It will help you fight infections. And even for people who are already going through certain things as far as exhibiting some of these things are concerned, you still need to make sure you are paying attention to it. So, Kweku, your questions might bring whatever we need to discuss out. We'll go through the examples of what we need to add to our meals.
So I want us to focus on this 3 stars.
The 3rd star.
And it's talking about the vitamin-rich fruits and vegetables. Let's delve into that a little bit more. Right now, people are on lockdown, but they are allowed to go and get food. What should people and why should people focus on these particular things? aspects of the orange?
Okay, so to start with, I will say that you need to be paying attention to vitamin C-rich foods. That is the citrus families, for example. There are other foods with vitamin C in there, but when you talk about powerful vitamin C-rich foods, you can't go wrong with the citric foods. As far as pineapple, lime, lemon, oranges are concerned. And I had another interview last week, and I told them, if you are able to go an orange or two in a day, you give your body its need as far as vitamin C or ascorbic acid is concerned for the day. Okay. And with vitamin C, Kweku, you and me, we know that you can't, the body doesn't produce it or store it, so you need to always take it in. And so you have to make a conscious effort about it as far as pumping vitamin C into your system is concerned. Vitamin C will increase the production of white blood cells, which is key for fighting infections. We know that the main importance of our white blood is to make sure we are guarded as far as infections are concerned, fighting infections are concerned. So if this is what the main thing being done for you, it makes it a superfood as far as boosting our immune health is concerned. Yes, so we have other foods. We have vitamin A. We have vitamin A foods and vitamin A. Example, broccoli. Broccoli is one of the healthiest vegetables you can find on planet Earth, and other leafy green vegetables. So for strengthening the immune system and aiding the proper functioning of other organs like the lungs, kidney, and so on. And we know that in this time of COVID-19, we are much particular about our lungs. So if you have vitamin A-rich foods where leafy greens form part of these food, and we have other food
so items we have lettuce over there, we can see broccoli,
you can see some of the stars being even satisfied here as far as vitamin A is concerned. So incorporating the leafy green vegetables, whatever you find around you, if it's spinach, if it's broccoli is excellent. But if you have kontomire, you are assured of vitamin A, and it's just not your immune health. It helps you have healthy eyes as well. Yes, so you need to make sure that you are incorporating these into your meals. You don't get everything your body will need in a particular meal. So make sure they are all coming together. Having kontomire, having this, having a bit of the staples will make sure that you have everything you need, because you can have vitamin A also in another staple. Yes.
What about vitamin E?
Vitamin E is also here, and with vitamin E, it helps with the immune, the function. It helps with the function. So this helps with regulating and maintaining immune system function to help fight infections. So I always say that Kweku has to do this, but something should push Kweku to do it. And so the immune system on its own will sometimes need to be motivated in a way. So good sources or resources of vitamin E has to do with the leguminous family, where you have beans sitting in there, you have nuts, you have seeds. So nuts, seeds, pulses, they are all excellent sources of vitamin E. And then we have another powerful vitamin B6. Yes, so for vitamin B6, it is also vital for supporting biochemical reaction in the immune system. Example, soya bean, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and so on. So like I said, you need to be gingered sometimes to do what you have to do, and this is what vitamin B6 and the food items there. So last week we spoke about avocado, we spoke about some meats and fish, we spoke about poultry, you have liver, you have fish. So make sure everybody in the life cycle is satisfied as far as their needs is concerned. Soya is in, and I'm happy about soya because we are in the house with the children. You need to make sure they are also well taken care of. But we are focusing on our older folks, because based on the statistics outside, it appears they are really challenged. I was reading the fatality cases, and it was so obvious that persons above 60, 70, above 80 was so bad. The death and the incidence of death is so high in people above 80.
I mean, generally speaking, I think that all the different countries that have had, the highest cases of COVID-19, the larger groups of people that have been affected are those who are above 60.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's because they are compromised in a way as far as their immune health is concerned. So for those people, if you can't go through this, I will recommend supplementation, because last week we spoke about it and I had even samples to show for people who will be interested, because naturally something has happened to their bodies, and you have people also having existing conditions. Cardiovascular diseases is on top, followed by diabetes and then the rest. So if you are somebody already with issues with your cardiovascular health, like if you had a heart problem, if your heartbeat is kind of not beating like it ought to be, if any form of cardiovascular concern, you are really at risk as far as this almighty COVID-19 is concerned. So it is very prudent for you, or it's very critical for you, to make sure you are paying attention to what you are eating, because it's going to supply your body the nutrients it will need as far as boosting on your body's immunity is concerned. Quickly.
So let's talk about the Percocet and those kinds of other things, cloves, Percocet and so on, that we use to spice up our meals. How important are they? You see, we do that usually because it adds flavor and a good aroma and all of that. But how important is that in terms of nutrition itself? Okay, so
Percocet can be a spice or can be a condiment. And I believe Zoe and myself, some weeks ago, we spoke extensively about the health benefits of Percocet. Percocet is loaded with a lot of benefits, and it's one of the most healthiest ingredients or spice or condiments we can have. As a matter of fact, Kweku, we will even do a remedy to detoxify our bodies whilst we are home, because the tendency to overeat and put on weight. I told a platform that, okay, so people will start coming out saying, admin, I've put on weight, tell it mom, so help me lose weight. It is such a period where a lot of people will put on weight, and Percocet is very, very good as far as beating your weight down is concerned. And then we are focusing on lemon too, because it is part of the citric family foods, and so we know that our immune system will have a boost. We are adding ginger because it will help us take care of the flu, flu, and then any kind of feverish, because yesterday for once I thought my temperature had changed, because I feel that the anxiety and the panic in the air is all contributing to we not feeling fine as far as our nerves are concerned. And ginger is blessed to take care of our nerves and our nervousness. Yes, and then for the cloves or pepper, it's also a healthy spice or condiment. So if you have peppercorns, if you have cloves, if you have pepper, huentia, a sorisa or a fongwisa, know that is a natural spice or herb, and it will give you some health benefits as far as tackling this thing is concerned, because once you are healthy, your immune health is not compromised.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akosua Konadu Yadom. She's a state-registered nutritionist and has been helping us to understand how to stay healthy in this season, in this period. COVID-19, we will win by all means, and one of the ways of fighting this is also with your health and with your immune system. All right, so we're going to take a look at, in a cooking segment, at a video that has been recorded earlier on with Flossie Azu. She's going to help us to understand how to prepare a bean salad. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's easy to do, as always. It's very healthy for you, especially at this time. And then remember that as you're doing it, also try to have fun with it, okay? So try it at home where you are, and let us also know some of the results you come up with as you try this as well. Let's take a look at this segment.
Hey everyone, let's review our ingredients for a very simple bean salad. It's going to be packed with nutrients, very good for the immune system to help you fight COVID-19. We have our tomatoes, high in vitamin C, excellent for your immune system. We have cucumbers, we have spring onions, we have red onions, we have some already boiled bambara beans. So I boiled these ones till they're very firm. You can boil them a little longer if you want yours a little bit more mushy, or you can pressure cook it, so it also makes it a lot softer and mushier. Then we have some celery leaves, some dandelion leaves. Now, dandelion leaves are very easy to find. It's a weed that grows pretty much anywhere, and already chopped carrots. So let's get to it. So first, we get started by chopping up the onion into very, very fine pieces. So we want to get them as small as possible. I love onions in salads, but they can have a very strong and overpowering flavor. So I like to make sure that it's as small as it possibly can be, so that it adds its zing to it without kind of like taking over the whole thing. So once I'm done with that, I'll start assembling it in my bowl here. All right, so nice and finely chopped. And to make the mixing a little bit easier, I layer it, so I don't just put all the onions at the bottom. Then we now have to try and mix it in more evenly. But I'll put some onions, and I'll put some tomatoes, then I put some other ingredients, just kind of like layer the ingredients so that when it's time to mix evenly, it's a little simpler to do. Okay. So now I'm chopping up the tomatoes. As you can see, this is very simple. It's very easy to eat fresh, nutritious food that is excellent for your body, right? You see that? Now, because my cucumbers are already chopped, I can just sprinkle a little bit in there, right? And then I go to my dandelion leaves. Now these, I love. These also have a pretty powerful, kind of like a very bitter, bold taste, right? Very good for you. Excellent. Dandelion leaves are one of like the superfoods that they say, and it's a lot easier for your body to digest than something like kale, which can actually be very, very hard on your body to digest. It's packed with nutrients, but it can be a little tough for you. Sprinkle some of the carrots there, and then we do it all over again, right? Tomatoes, carrots, leaves. Ooh, I can smell that dandelion. Ooh, that is good. I know that in this time of coronavirus and COVID-19, everybody is staying home. It can be very tough to stay home, but the way the virus works, that is the best thing for us right now in order to not spread it. So I'm layering the tomatoes on now with the already chopped onions that I had on the board, as you can see. And then more cucumbers on there. More carrots. I think I'm gonna be using the last batch of carrots, and then back to the dandelion, making sure that I'm getting all these colors in there, all these textures in there. I have some walnuts as well that I can top up the salad with once we're done. I'll show you that once we're done, so that we have like a lot of colors and textures going. I think I'm good with the onions for now, because I also have kind of like Spanish onions that you can see it, but be the kind of activity so I choose how to keep that, right? And your salad tossed. Do you like getting your salad tossed? Let's see. Ooh, look at this. Look at all that color. This looks absolutely wonderful. Oh yeah, this looks good. This looks very good. Then next we're going to be working on the dressing for this. We'll work on the dressing for this, and then we will slice up some celery leaves for the garnish for that as well. Now for the dressing, we're going to use some good immune boosters as well. something that's cleansing, detoxing. All of these things are helping you boost your immune system up, helping you detox your body so that you can fight any infection, any immunoinvaders, any foreign bodies that come into your body and try to get you down with this COVID-19. So we have some garlic. I've already pureed the garlic here because I need it in liquid form. That's what we're going to use. We have some turmeric here as well. We have the orange, nanahunu, the pepper. We have some olive oil, and we have some tamarind vinegar from Wanjo Foods. All right, so in a small bowl, I start with, so depending on how spicy you want your dressing, you can add a lot more of the pepper or a lot less, more ginger or less of that. Also going to do about like a tablespoon of the garlic. This is going to be really good to boost immune systems. We're going to sprinkle some of the turmeric in there. And then we're going to grind up the ginger to get it really nice and pasty, so that we can get, if you have ginger juice as well, you can use that. So let's just some ginger juice. I ground up the ginger, mixed it with some water, and our olive oil to make our lovely dressing for our salad. And that's what gives curry runnier now. It has more of like a done. We have our salad mixed nicely. I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit. So this is garden. I got my dandelion, walnuts that I had with me here. I'm home now, so I'm doing everything from my home. Nuts, walnuts are really easy to just crush your fingers like that. So we have a little bit of crunch, right? Just giving it a more diverse texture palette here to our yummy, yummy, yummy salad. And voila, we are done.